And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Ian Volante.
Your occupation?
Statistician.
And your chosen subject?
Metallica.
Metallica, 2 minutes starting now. After hearing No Life Till Leather, which record shop owner founded the Megaforce label to release Metallica's first album, Kill 'Em All, in 1983?
John Zazula.
Yes, in August 1991, which song gave the group their first UK top 10 hit single?
Enter Sandman.
Correct. What is the pseudonym of the artist Brian Schroeder, who designed some of Metallica's distinctive music sleeves and T-shirts?
Pusshead.
Yes, Hetfield, Hammett and Ulrich reputedly offered the bassist Jason Newsted his place in the group following a meeting in the toilet at which San Francisco bar?
Pass.
In 2000, Metallica began legal proceedings against which file-sharing site after discovering a demo of I Disappear on the site before it had been officially released?
Napster.
Yes, who played his last gig with the group at L'Amours in Brooklyn on the 9th of April, 83, before he was sacked?
Dave Mustaine.
Yes, what is the title of the video the band released in April 87 in tribute to the bass player Cliff Burton, who was killed when their tour bus crashed the previous year?
Cliff 'Em All.
Yes, from around the time he joined Metallica, Kirk Hammett took lessons from which virtuoso guitarist and renowned instructor?
Satriani.
Yes. Which piece from the film soundtrack of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly did the group record for the 2007 tribute album We All Love Ennio Morricone?
The Ecstasy of Gold.
Correct. What price tag was added to the title of the 1987 vinyl edition of the EP Garage Days Revisited to ensure that fans were not overcharged?
$5.98.
Yes. At the 1992 Grammy ceremony, Lars Ulrich ironically thanked which British group for not putting out an album this year?
Jethro Tull.
Yes. In May 1990, under what name did the group make a secret appearance at London's Marquee Club as the support band to Metal Church?
Fred Ends.
No, Vertigo. Which song from the Master of Puppets album did the group play at Cliff Burton's funeral and not perform again in full for nearly 20 years?
Orion.
Yes. What's the title of the 82 compilation album on which Metallica released their first recording of Hit the Lights?
Metal Massacre.
Yes. Who was the so-called performance-enhancing coach who featured in the 2004 documentary film Some Kind of Monster?
Phil Towell.
Yes. Although they made the recording with the... I'll finish the question. Although they made the recording with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra, with which New York City orchestra did the group perform songs from the S&M album live at Madison Square Garden on the 23rd of November 1999?
New York Philharmonic.
No, the Orchestra of St. Luke's. You had one pass. It was in Tommy's joint that they offered the bassist the place in the band. One pass, Ian Volante, 13 points. So that's the end of the specialist round, a high-scoring one. Let's have a look at those scores. In fourth place with 11 points, Kirsty Rowland. Joint second place, 13 points apiece, Daniel Morrish and Ian Volante. In the lead with 15 points, Louise Mayer. Round two now, general knowledge. If there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. So, by and large, it pays not to pass. Let's get on with it and ask Kirsty Rowland to join us again, please. And you're intrigued, obviously, by the women of the SOE, the Specials Operations Executive. Brave bunch of people.
Yes, while looking at them, I was trying to decide whether, if I were in the same situation, if I could do it. And I doubt I could. I'm not sure I'm that brave.
Well, I suppose you never know till you're pushed into it, do you?
I think it depends on the sort of political climate, and the situation was, it was fight the Germans for the French and the English, or possibly be overrun with them.
But what they were doing, in many cases, being parachuted behind enemy lines in occupied France and risking their lives to commit sabotage against the Germans and all that sort of thing. And it was an extraordinarily dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, especially for women. Their sort of conditions, if they were arrested, were pretty horrific. So it wasn't just the risk of sort of the day-to-day activities. The fear of being arrested must have been huge.
Absolutely. I was astonished at how many women there were. There were, what, 10,000 men and 3,000 women?
Yes, working within the SOE. There were 39 that dropped into France that are the well-known ones, but there was a vast number working behind the lines and also working in the Navy as well.
Right, you have 11 points with that knowledge. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which singer's 1990 European tour was called Blonde Ambition?
Madonna.
Correct. What term that literally means racetrack in French is given to an area of compacted snow used for skiing?
Peace.
Yes, according to the Bible, who slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass?
Goliath.
Samson. In the House of Commons, the chairman of Ways and Means is better known by what title?
Chief Whip.
Deputy Speaker. Which film actor who died in 1979 was known as Duke?
Pass.
What is the name of the process by which plants lose water through pores on the surface of their leaves?
Osmosis.
Transpiration. Which American-born photographer is particularly noted for her portraits of celebrities, including the famous image of a naked John Lennon embracing a clothed Yoko Ono?
Annie Leibovitz.
Yeah, Leibovitz, yeah. In ancient Greece, drinking wine made from which fruit was thought to produce contentment and forgetfulness?
Nectar.
Lotus. Which Irish-born dramatist wrote Waiting for Godot, originally published in French in 1952?
Oscar Wilde.
Samuel Beckett. What type of business was founded by the Scottish-born Alan Pinkerton in Chicago in the 1850s?
Motor cars.
Detective agency. In the 1950s, the Russian linguist Yuri Konorazov deciphered the hieroglyphic script of which people whose civilization flourished in Mexico and Guatemala until the 9th century AD?
Aztecs.
Maya. What term was coined by the French biologist Jean-Baptiste Lamarck to describe any animal without a spinal column?
Invertebrate.
Yes, in 1989, which was the first of the British building societies to float on the London stock market?
Halifax.
The Abbey. What kind of typeface was generally used for printing in Germany until the middle of the 20th century?
Gothic.
Correct. Adult human beings have up to 12 of which tooth? Its name comes from the Latin for grindstone.
Molar.
Yes. In cookery, what term is used for sauces or creamed mixtures that have separated after the addition of eggs, and also for milk that has separated?
Split.
Yes, or curdled. You had one pass. The Duke was John Wayne. One pass, Kirsty Rowland. You have 18 points.
Thank you.